All these years, I have made a fortune, really, being myself.
Just be yourself. You're a unique snowflake. Yes, amazing, but how?
And my wife really taught me that vulnerability is not weakness. That I had to be vulnerable, but I had to be authentic at the same time.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Oprah Winfrey. Also, if you want to learn how to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link is in the description below.
The real work is to figure out where your power base is. They think that success is supposed to happen like that. Beauty of my life, Edward, is that from, I'd say, 32, 33 on, I figured out how to be myself completely on television. And all these years, I have made a fortune, really, being myself. So I'm never not me. I'm never not the person that you see. You know, there are days when I am more open and warm than others. And one of the things that actually caused me in 1991 to get my own plane, I was in the airport and I was just minding my own business. And a woman came up and she said, "You're not acting like you do on TV." Oh. And I said, "What's that?" She says, "Well, on TV, you're hugging everybody and you're just sitting here and you're not hugging away." "I'm just sitting here, ma'am. I'm just waiting on the plane." So if I'm in an airport, I'm not necessarily walking around hugging people, okay? But I am just always just myself.
Just be yourself is one of the most common pieces of advice that you hear from successful people. Just be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Just be yourself. You're a unique snowflake. Yes, amazing, but how? How do I do it? How do I find it? And once I find it, how do I have the confidence to actually live it? How? Give me the how. You're in luck. I'm gonna give you the 3-step process on how to actually find out who you are and have the confidence to live it. We're gonna go through 3 steps: who, why, how. Your who, your why, your how. You figure that out, you're set up for life. It's one of the most powerful exercises you will ever do in your life. Let's dig in. Number 1, your who. Your who is your one word, most important core value. What is your single most important core value? Mine is belief. When you understand what you stand for, you're less likely to be pulled in other people's directions. So quick tips on how to find it. What's your favorite movie of all time? Mine is Seabiscuit. It's about this horse that's too small and a jockey too big and an owner that has no money, and they find each other and they start winning a whole bunch of races, right? What's your favorite song of all time? Who's your favorite teacher of all time and why? And if you look at all these things that you have loved, it wasn't because Mrs. Jones taught you math in grade 8. It's because of a characteristic. There's a common thread between all the things that you love that make you happy. That's your one word. That's your most important core value. When you figure that out, now you can live a life on purpose and bring those things to you. So for me, believe, I'm not gonna make a video that's trashing somebody. I'm not gonna make a top 10 stupidest things that this person ever said, even though it might make me more money, even though it might bring me more subscribers, even though it might get me more attention. I don't wanna do it because it's anti-belief. And knowing that, knowing what I stand for, then makes it easy to put that shield up to say, no, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care that you think I should go do that thing. I know what I stand for. It gives you a rock to stand on where most people are standing on quicksand. Figure out your who. Step 2 is figure out your why. That's your purpose. Your purpose comes from your pain. Think about the most painful moment in your life. Your purpose for life will be to help other people who are currently experiencing that pain. To find somebody who is going through the thing that caused you the most pain in your life will lift you up and give you so much joy, I can't explain it. And your who and your why, your one word and your purpose are for life. So for me, my why, my purpose is helping entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, because I turned down huge jobs to make $300 a month and earn 30% of a company. And I hated my life. Like I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't giving any value. It sucked. I eventually made it through, and I want to help entrepreneurs because I remember struggling so much as an entrepreneur. I don't want other people to have to struggle the same way that I struggled. And so my one word is believe. I could believe in anybody. I could believe in lots of people. Everybody needs believing in. But I love helping entrepreneurs more because that's where I came from, because that was my biggest struggle. It's my biggest pain. And so think about your most painful moment of all time. Helping the people who are currently experiencing the thing that you went through is going to be the thing that will fill you up for life. Your who and your why are for life. They will never change. They're with you for life. And so it's worth going through that thought experiment to find it. Because most of America has no idea what they stand for and what their purpose is. Step 3 is your how. Now it's figuring out, how did you get through the thing that you went through, right? I struggled as an entrepreneur. The thing that saved my business was modeling Bill Gates. How did Bill Gates build a software company? That's what I had. I had a software company. I wasn't working. I copied Bill Gates' strategies, applied it to my business, had my first sale shortly after for $13,500. It may not seem like a lot of money, but for me, it was money. It was money. It was bank. Like, holy cow, something's actually working. And so ever since then, that was when I was 19, 20 years old. Ever since then, whenever I don't know what to do, I model success. I modeled Bill Gates' success and put that to my company. I had success. And so what have I done for the past 20 years? Made content, made videos. Look at my channel, profiling different successful entrepreneurs to model their success. The path that I use to get out of the hole is the path that then I teach. The path that you use to get out of the hole that you're in becomes the path that you teach. It's a system. It's replicatable. You can teach other people how to do it, because a lot of the people who are struggling with the thing that you struggled with, they never find their way out. You can help them by showing them the path that you took. And so your who, your why, your how. When you figure that out, that's how you are yourself. And now you've got this amazing rock to stand on. When other people think you should go do something else, you don't care. It doesn't hit you. It bounces off you because you're confident in yourself. And so yes, be yourself. And it's gonna come up over and over and over and over again. Look at the top 10s, look at the Inspressos, look at all the videos, look at the interviews, look at the people that you look up to. They're all gonna say, just be yourself. But how? This is the process. Figure out your who, figure out your why, figure out your how. Go through those 3 steps and you're set up for life. And I'm so pumped to see the journey that you go on. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I wanna know, what is your why? What was the most painful moment in your life, and how is that now transitioned into something that's gonna be the greatest joy in your life, helping others? Tell me in the comments below.
Once football ended and the entertainment thing kind of happened, I had to learn, like, you can't fight your way out of things. You have to think your way out of things. And I noticed how my wife behaved. And I noticed how women behave. Because women have to think their way out of all kinds of situations. Whereas guys we can muscle our way through and do all this stuff and whatever. But I realized that was not getting me anywhere. And my wife really taught me that vulnerability is not weakness. That I had to be vulnerable, but I had to be authentic at the same time. And she would always, always talk to me and tell me that, Terry, and she would always tell me the truth. Like, there's nothing more valuable than somebody who's gonna speak the truth into your life. And she would constantly tell me, this is wrong. The way you're acting right now is awful. And I'm just like, what? I'm like all these other guys, because that's what guys do. You compare yourself to all the other guys. And you say, but compared to them, I'm good, right? And she's like, I'm done. I'll never forget the first time I had a big job. I remember I got a big movie and whatever, and I remember I was walking around at this party and I had a cigar. And I was walking around and I had the swag, I had the whole thing. She was like, okay, you can stay over there. I'm gonna be over here. And I was like, what are you talking about? What? I'm winning. And she was like, no, baby, nope. And I was like, whoa. And I realized just in those little ways, I was losing her. And so I had to put the cigar down, and I would come back over there, and she said, now that's my Terry. I was like, oh, wow.
You don't plan ahead, so
Yes.
we ought to be right in the pocket today.
I feel like if I planned ahead, you wouldn't be hearing me. You'd be hearing something I prepared. And if I was doing something that I prepared, it would be because I want to get something from someone. We say, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? That question implies there is a right or wrong way. And how do you measure that? Like, did it sell something? Did people like it? Did I get approval from the audience? So I also feel that in the moment, we're always feeling something. Like, if you just say what you're feeling, then you actually create a space where the person across from you or the audience goes, oh, I know what that feels like and I can connect with you. But in trying to prepare something, often we block what we're feeling and then bring something that we prepared earlier in the day, and people miss out on the real you. We live in a world where we don't say what we're thinking, we say what we think people want to hear. So if you get into an elevator and there's someone that you're attracted to that gets on the elevator and you're trying to think of the right thing to say, what would happen if you looked at the person and said, I'm trying to think of something to say to you? Like, that's actually true.
Right.
And how attractive would that be if a person is like, I'm trying to think of the right thing to say to you? Like, there's vulnerability in that, there's possibility, they get to co-create with you. But most people don't say that. They instead say what they think the person wants to hear, right? So we instead look at this person and go, there sure is weather outside. And they're like, yes, and there was weather yesterday too. And now you're two phony people, and this is who you're gonna marry. That's the world we live in, right? I'm gonna marry this person after starting the entire thing off inauthentically. So for me, not preparing is so much easier and so much more true, and there's so many amazing moments from that, right? And people go, I don't know how you do that. And I remind people, well, when you go to a restaurant, you don't have a set list. You don't sit there and think, first I'll ask them if they have pets and if they like ice cream. You'll actually just say what you feel. And in that space, you have a 2-hour off-the-cuff conversation. So that's all we're doing.
If you want to learn how to take more accountability, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Total accountability.
Take accountability.
Accountability is what actually leads to happiness.